Goodbye, John Henry. 20 years is a long time. Well, you're a free man. I guess I'll never get used to it. They're brought in here ramrod straight, arrogant, ready to tackle the whole world. And they walk away broken down old men. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. And too wore out to do it, even if there was.
Get up. Did you get the dynamite?
2 boxes.
That ought to do it.
Captain, how many times I have to tell you it wasn't your fault?
Governor, you appointed me head of the parole board.
Because you are the best man for the job.
No, sir, I'm not. Not anymore. I let my personal feelings get in the way of a decision. I was the only one on the board who favored a pardon for John Henry Lee, but I got him out. Then what does he do? 6 hours later, he robs a bank in Del Rio and runs off with $20,000 in gold.
So you made a mistake?
Yeah, I sure did, 20 years ago. I should have shot him instead of bringing him in. Next time I will.
Next time?
I got John Henry Lee out of prison. I can dang well put him back in. If I don't bury him.
Orrin, I hate to say this, you being one of the best Texas Rangers to ever strap on a gun, but that was a long time ago. Aren't you a little old to go running around chasing an outlaw?
Well, ain't he a little old to go running around robbing banks? If I know John Henry, he'll swing south from Del Rio along the border and round up his old gang. Like as not, he'll pick up Nitro Jones, best powder man in the territory. Been blowing up bank vaults since he was knee-high to a stick of dynamite. Hands as solid as a rock, not a nerve in his body. And Fargo Parker, gunfighter, dangerous as they come. Cut his teeth on a Winchester. And Kelly Sutton, tin horn gambler. Been thrown out of every honest card game in Texas. Talks too much and drinks too much. But he can handle it. And Charlie Lee, John Henry's brother. Wagon driver, getaway man. There's not a harness horse ever lived that Charlie couldn't master. He can turn a runaway team around on a dime.
Wait up!
And give you 7 cents change.
Look out!
As soon as John Henry gets his boys together, they'll double back and head north for the bend of the Rio Brazos.
The bend of the Rio Brazo?
You heard me.
I thought you was gonna kind of stay away from that part of Texas.
You thought wrong. I know Captain Hayes, he's gonna head straight for the governor's office and quit his job on the parole board. He thinks it's his fault that I got turned loose. Then he's gonna head out and round up his whole outfit. Once he gets them, he's gonna come busting right after us. He's just like old times. He probably have Nash Crawford with him. Who? The only guy that ever beat me to the draw, fair and square. Put a bullet in me right there. Still got it. I was turning blue one winter, and them prison doctors wanted to cut it out of there. I said, heck no. Yeah, Nash Crawford's some kind of man. He gets on your trail, you better be ready to buy the farm, bull and all.
Touch that gun and I'll kill you. All right, now you try it. Stand up tall. Taller. Now, don't move a muscle.
Can I move my mouth?
Just enough to let the words out. Now go on.
Touch that gun and I'll kill you.
Try it again.
Touch that gun and I'll kill you.
I don't believe you.
I'm standing as tall as I can.
It ain't that, it's your eyes. I can tell you're bluffing.
Well, I am.
But you can't let the other fella know that. I mean, you gotta be ready to back your play, come hell or high water.
Guess I wasn't cut out to be a gunfighter.
Because you give up too easy. Like everybody else around here. Look at them, taking to their rocking chairs, waiting till somebody blows a bugle over them. Well, not me. When I go out, I'm gonna slam the door behind me.
Mail call. Murphy.
Murphy here.
Collins. Oh. Ooh, 4.
Thank you, darling.
And Brady.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
Hey, young lady. You sure you ain't got anything in there for Nash Crawford?
No, sir. I'm afraid not.
Well, it don't matter. I got one, I just have to read it and throw it away.
You want to read mine, Nash?
No, I don't want to read yours.
I thought you not having a family, you might want to hear.
Who says I don't have a family? I got them spread all over Texas, clear to the panhandle.
They never write to you.
Because they got better things to do than sit around all day writing penny postcards, that's why.
Nash. Here.
I told you I don't want to read no secondhand mail.
It's a telegram.
For me?
Yes. It came this morning. I didn't want to give it to you because I thought it might be bad news. I held it up to the light, but I...
Give me that.
What's it say?
Brazos.
Brazos?
Yeah, the code name for our company. Means trouble. Meet me at the Overland Stage Station, Bend of the Rio, in 2 days. Signed, Captain Orrin Hayes, commanding. Well, what do you know?
Jason Fitch.
Who?
Jason Fitch. That's another than Captain Hayes is gonna bring along. If he cuts your trail, you better get used to having him along, because he's gonna be along till he catches you. Got eyes like an eagle in the daytime and like an owl at night.
Who goes there?
It's me, Jason.
Advance and be recognized. Halt!
Jason, it's me, Harold.
Harold who?
Your brother.
Oh, thought I recognized your voice there, Harold. What can I do for you?
Well, for one thing, you can point that shotgun in another direction.
Oh, it ain't loaded, see?
It's loaded, Jason.
Yes. Oh, I could have swore it.
It could have killed me, too.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. You're my brother. Say, brother, how'd you like to have a little snort? Huh? The bunghole in one of them beer kegs has sprung a leak.
That's
and you and
just
me...
what I wanted to talk to you about, Jason.
It is?
Yeah. You see, folks are saying that you're staggering home from work every morning. Now, if you can't hold your beer, you can't hold your job as the night watchman. And if that happens, then there's them that's going to send you back to that old folks' home.
Guess you ain't heard, have you?
Heard what?
I'm on the wagon.
The wagon.
The wagon that delivers the beer kegs over to Stillwater. I'm riding shotgun.
Shotgun?
That's right. Start the job next week. Company's been held up 6 times this month. You gotta catch them in the act or they drink the evidence, see? I'm gonna catch them in the act. That's my job. And if my name ain't...
Jason! Jason Fitz!
Who goes there?
Oh, it's Whit Miller from the railroad office.
He ought to feed that horse better. It's skinny as a rail.
He's riding a bicycle.
I got a telegram for you, Jason.
Telegram? Who'd be sending me a telegram? These watchman glasses ain't good for reading telegrams. What does it say there, Harold?
Says Brazos.
Brazos?
The old company code word. What else does it say?
Meet me at the Overland Stage Station at the bend of the Rio in 2 days. Signed, Captain Orrin Hayes, commanding.
What does it mean, Jason?
Trouble. Whatever you're doing, drop it. Crawl your horse and ride. Take over for me, Harold. I gotta get packed.
Jason, you ain't got nothing to pack. And you don't even have a horse.
I don't?
No, Jason.
Then I'll walk.
2 days?
And nights if I got to.
2 days afoot?
Well, what if you don't go on foot?
You sure we doing the right thing, John Henry? Heading for the bend of Rio? If you'd ask me...
Askew.
Who?
George Askew. Gentleman George Askew. That's the name I've been trying to think of. Captain Hayes will bring him along for sure.
How come they call him Gentleman George?
Because that's what he is, a gentleman. His family was rich back before the war. They sent him to school, one of them fancy schools down south, where they teach him to eat with a right fork and talk soft. He come away from there with more manners than he's ever used. Gentleman George Askew. A gentleman.
Hello, Orrin.
Hello, Maggie.
It's been a long time.
5 years.
Seems like more.
I know.
I'm proud of you, Orrin. Standing up for John Henry the way you did. Can I see him?
I'm afraid not.
What happened? Didn't his pardon come through?
It came through. And soon as he was out, he robbed a bank in Del Rio.
And you're going after him?
First thing in the morning.
Always the lawman.
That's right.
That's wrong, and you know it. This is because of me, isn't it? You thought if I knew John Henry was out, I'd come running.
You're here.
Because you sent for me.
I just wanted you to make up your mind once and for good.
All these years, you're still jealous of John Henry?
All these years.
I married you.
Because he was locked up.
And this time you're gonna see he stays that way.
All I know is I want you back, Maggie.
You haven't changed one bit, Orrin Hayes.
Not one bit.
You figure that there bank in Del Rio is going to put up a reward for us?
Probably.
Well, don't you think we're kind of taking a chance sitting out here in the open with building a big farm?
Nah.
What are you talking about? There's a lot of gold in that there wagon.
It's gonna stay there.
Not if enough of them come chasing after the jumpers.
They won't.
But,
Charlie, them bankers in Del Rio are just like they are everywhere else. They're gonna be a little extra careful about putting out money. They'll post a reward, but it ain't gonna amount to nothing. It's good business, but it don't go for raising no hellacious big posse.
Yeah, I sure gotta hand it to you. You sure do think things out.
Well, I didn't always, and I paid for it, too, 20 years. But that ain't gonna happen no more.
It ain't?
Charlie, a man's gotta have a goal in this life, something to keep him going. And I got mine. I wanna rob a Texas train.
You almost got it done once.
Yeah, but Captain Hayes and his boys stopped me. But they won't this time.
You mean you're gonna try to rob that train again?
I ain't gonna try, Charlie. I'm gonna do it. It's that Sunday run from Waco. I had a lot of time to think about what went wrong the last time. Laying up there in prison, I went over it in my mind 100,000 times or more. We shouldn't have got on that train in Waco. We should have waited till the bend of the Brazos. And when the train slowed down for the curve, we could have jumped on it right there on the fly. That's what we'll do this time.
On the fly?
We'll be all over them express guards before they know what hits them. Now, once we get on board, I want you to bring this wagon full bore up alongside the train. Now, there'll be a clearing there by the river, so you'll have room to horse that rig right on up next to the express car. But don't come in too quick. Kind of lay back and wait for the explosion.
Explosion?
Yeah. I'll tell Nitro to use an extra stick of dynamite on that safe. So when it blows, the whole side of the express car will come out. We'll get the gold, throw it in the wagon, jump on the back, and take off like a scalded dog in the hills. We'll be long gone before they know what happened.
John Henry, all that running and the jumping?
You don't think you're up to it, huh? Well, you will be. When you hear that train coming around the bend, you hear that whistle blowing, you'll be like an old fire horse, hearing the bell. They won't be able to hold you back. Promise you that. We'll make fools out of Captain Hayes and his boys, just like they did us. And unless I miss my guess, they'll be waiting for us at the junction just beyond the bend in the river, just like they was before. But we'll be in and out before they know what happened.
Suppose they catch up with us.
They won't.
But what if they do?
You ever hear tell the story about them lions over in Africa?
Lions?
When they start getting old, something inside of them tells them they ain't got long to live. And they start roaming around looking for a fight. Not just any fight, but a good one. One they wouldn't mind too much not walking away from. And if Captain Hayes and his boys catch up to us out here, that's the kind of fight that's gonna be. Good night, boy.
That goal of his could get us all killed.
Man can't live forever.
Not around John Henry, Cap.
first, Nitro. Now. Next.
That ain't fair, John Henry. I could hit them bottles with a scatter gun.
You couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a banjo.
He's right, Charlie. Use your handgun.
I don't got one.
Here, use mine. Be careful, it's got a hair trigger.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Fire at will.
Who?
I told you it had a hair trigger.
You almost hit John Henry.
He's the first thing he ever hit. I don't claim to be no gunfighter.
Having you alone is like losing two good men.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah!
I didn't know you could shoot like that, John Henry.
I can't. I was aiming at a rattlesnake. Drink us up another target, Sutton. We got work to do.
Yes, sir.
Nash Crawford. George asked you, you old goat. I thought I recognized that jackass.
Gangway, I'm coming through. One to side or I'll leg off.
Jason? Jason. You all right, Jason?
Nash? That you, Nash Crawford?
Yeah, and gentleman, George asked you.
Good to see you, Jason.
Well, you too. If I can find my glasses.
Oh, yeah. Well, here they are.
Oh, thank you, Nash.
I'm Nash. What are you doing riding that fool contraption anyway?
Well, it's the only way I can make the bend to the river short of walking.
It's downright dangerous to me.
Well, it is if you don't get the hang of it. I ain't got the hang of it, but I will.
If you don't break your fool neck first.
If you want to crawl on double with me, it's okay, Jason.
You still riding that jackass?
Everywhere I go.
Yeah, well, I'll take my chances with this thing, thank you.
Well, it's your wagon.
Well, let's not stand around talking all day. The captain's waiting for us at the Overland Stage Station.
I'd say he waited long enough. All right, let's mount up.
Just a damn minute. Since when you giving orders, George asked you?
I only...
Stepped on my rank, that's what you only. Now, I'm still sergeant of this here outfit. And if there's any orders to be given, I'm the one doing the giving. Do you understand? Well, do you?
I guess so.
I guess so what?
I guess so, Sergeant.
Yeah, that's more like it. Mount up.
It's them, all right.
Why don't we jump them now and get it over?
We'll jump them when I say so. Not until.
Couldn't be that you're afraid of them old men down there. Could it?
Them old men down there got that way by staying alive. That's more than you're gonna do if you don't stop crossing me.
We're gonna end up killing each other. I say it ain't worth it. I say we ought to turn and right away.
20,000 in gold?
Bank of Del Rio's only putting up $1,000.
To bring it back. But we ain't gonna do that. Sure ain't.
Here's the bend of the Rio Brazos. Unless I miss my guess, John Henry and his boys won't board the Sunday run at Waco like he did last time. He'll jump the train, Here, catch it on the fly.
But then we better not be waiting down track at the junction.
We won't be, Sergeant.
What I can't figure out is why ain't John Henry in prison where he belongs?
Because I got him out.
You got...
On good behavior.
Good behavior?
John Henry?
And he went straight to a bank in Del Rio and robbed it.
Why would he do that?
Because he wanted to make sure I'd come after him.
But that don't make a whole lot of sense, Captain.
Does to him. The only time John Henry was ever made a fool of was when he tried to rob that Texas train. He wants to get even.
Sounds to me like he wants to get caught.
Ain't as easy as it sounds, Sergeant. He's had a lot of years to figure out what he did wrong. He won't make the same mistakes again. And neither will I. I haven't got my hands on him. Any questions? All right, we move out first thing in the morning. Jason, you ride scout.
Yes, sir.
Night, gents.
I don't like it.
What?
The captain, he's taking the whole thing too personal. Him and John Henry used to be friends.
They were in the war together, weren't they?
Same outfit. When the fighting was over, the captain joined the Rangers. John Henry, he took to robbing Yankee banks. Claimed he was getting even with them for winning the war.
It happened to me once. Taking things too personal, I mean. I was tracking a man that shot a sheriff. Good friend of mine, that sheriff was, too. I was so blind, man, I couldn't see the trail, and he got away.
Well, John Henry won't. But just like you said, Nash, I think he's out and out asking to get caught. Why else would he make sure he brought the law along to a train robbing?
You heard the captain. He's doing it to get even.
No, he ain't. I think he's just spoiling for a good old-fashioned fight.
George is right. Lead's gonna fly. I can feel it in my bones. If I should catch one, boys, promise me you'll bury me where I fall.
And I'll throw that damn bicycle in right on top of you.
You didn't take your nap today, did you, Nash?
No. But you're gonna take yours if you just step outside.
You wouldn't hit a man wearing glasses, would you?
Just as hard as I can.
Now, hold it, boys. Hold it. Don't go wasting our fighting on each other. Before long, we're gonna have all we can handle.
Well, if you can't jump a wagon on the run, how do you expect to catch a train?
We're just out of practice is all, John Henry.
Try it again.
Again?
Can't we take a rest?
We'll be wore out before the train gets here.
Same thing goes with these horses, John Henry. They ain't got much left in them, and they could use some water.
Well, take them over there by the bend of the river beyond that rise and get back up on top of the hill as quick as you can.
I put my ears to the rail when I get down there.
Well, you won't hear nothing. That train don't leave Waco till 10 o'clock. It'll be 2 hours before it gets here. Now get going.
Right. Get up. Oh, I sure hope we don't let you down, John Henry.
You'll be all right. Where's Nitro?
Last time I seen him, he borrowed a match and took off with a stick of dynamite.
Which way did he go?
That way.
Nitro.
Fire in the hole.
Are you all right?
Oh, just got the wind knocked out of me. Oh, I thought I'd better try a stick or two, just to make sure I haven't lost my touch. I ain't as good as I was, John Henry.
Well, you just cut your fuse a little short, that's all.
No, I froze. And if I do that when we jump the train...
You won't.
But what if I do?
Nitro, ain't none of us as young as we used to be. Not nearly. We're professionals. And that's what counts when the chips are down. That's what separates the men from the boys, even the old men.
I hope so.
I know so. Now, let me run this down for you one more time. Okay. That's the hill over there. Here's the river, the bend in the river, here's the tracks, and there's the clearing. And we'll stay up on top of the hill until we can see that train coming from a long way off. And when he gets right here, we'll take off. We'll be coming down off that hill, so we should be going fast enough to catch him without any trouble.
Whoa!
What's wrong?
The train!
It's coming?
No, it ain't going to.
What?
The railroad tore up the tracks.
Are you sure?
That's all there is left. The bend of the Rio's gone too. Dried up.
If that ain't the darndest trick time ever played on a man, I ain't never heard it. Say the river's dry.
Is a bone?
Well, it's a good thing. I'd probably go drown myself. Well, it just goes to prove it. There ain't no fool like an old fool. I spent 20 years up there in that prison, planning day and night, living on vengeance, hate, and pride, and it's all come down to one rusty spike. It's a hell of a way to rob a railroad.
What are we gonna do now, John Henry?
Well, one thing we can do, we can go back to Del Rio.
Del Rio?
And take that gold back. I ain't got no more use for it.
We do.
Tore up the tracks.
10 years ago.
Well, why didn't you say so?
I just remembered it. Look!
Jason, you all right? Wagon headed south. 4 outriders, 3 empty horses.
Hey, Jason, I take back everything I ever said against you. You're as good a scout as you ever were. Being able to hear all that by just putting your ear on the ground.
I didn't hear anything. They just ran over me. That's an old Indian joke. Actually, I seen them from up on the ridge there.
Then what are you doing flat in the ground?
I fell off my bicycle.
You boys are making a mistake, you know. Del Rio's that way, 4 days.
Ain't going to Del Rio.
You're gonna keep the gold for yourself.
Well, you're smarter than you look, old man. By the way, you got a name?
I got 3 of them. John Henry Lee. What's yours?
Cotton. Just Cotton.
Well, just Cotton, that's Nitro Jones, Fargo Parker, Kelly Sutton, and my brother Charlie.
John Young, Billy Bates,
John Brown.
Now we know each other.
Not for long.
They gonna keep the gold. How come they don't just take it and ride off?
They want to make it look like we stole it.
How they gonna do that?
Make sure we ain't around to witness against them, for one thing.
Meaning to get kind of hard to stay alive?
Them too.
I'm out.
I'm out.
It's 15 to you. I'll keep you honest. First handover wins. 30 miles of railroad. 3/10 beats my 2 pairs.
Would you ever lose, Cotton?
Never.
Mama, can I come out and play? Yes, my darling daughter. Hang your clothes on a huckleberry limb, but don't go near the water. Well, I ain't gonna eat no supper here tonight. I ain't going home till morning. Dance all night till broad daylight. Go home with the girls in the morning. Over the river to see the ducks. Over the river to Charlie's. Over the river to see the ducks and gather in the barley. Well, I ain't gonna eat no supper here tonight. I ain't going home till morning. Dance all night till broad daylight. Go home with the girls in the morning. The red bird died with a whooping cough. The bluebird died with a colic. Along came a jaybird sitting on a peg, flying on down to the frolic. Well, I ain't gonna eat no supper here tonight. I ain't going home till morning. Dance all night till broad daylight. Go home with the girls in the morning.
When we gonna make our move?
Soon. But I ain't gonna eat no supper here tonight. I ain't going home till morning. Dance all night till broad daylight. Go home with the girls in the morning.
Deal.
right, Captain?
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Fine.
Just like old times, ain't it? I was chasing after John Henry. I sure miss him. The old times, I mean.
Never was a dull day.
Yeah, that's the trouble when you tame a land. All the fun goes out of it. First thing you know, the settlers come in and they build a town, and then the bankers and the lawyers move in and take it away from them.
I guess that's progress, Jason.
All they can have it. Speaking of progress, has there been any between you and Maggie?
I'm afraid not.
Well, it just ain't right, the two of you not being together. You know, that preacher down in San Antonio said till death do you part, and you sure as hell ain't dead.
Did you ever want anything so bad you did all the wrong things to get it?
Well, talking about a woman, no. I've had a hankering for a few, but they never did get serious. My being ugly helped a lot. There was that nearsighted gal down in Sonora Town.
Oh, yeah. That was the one that went around telling everybody how much she loved you. Everybody, that is, except her husband.
That's the one.
And as I remember, he was that close to doing you with a shotgun.
Taught me a lesson. Always check the brand. Make sure you ain't driving another man's stock.
Amen.
Well, Captain, I gotta get some rest. I got a big day tomorrow. I gotta tighten my handlebars.
All right, Jason. Good night.
Night, Captain.
It's a swing stop for the Overland line. What do you think? We could use supplies. I'm getting tired of cowboy coffee. What about them? They stay here. Billy, you and John Brown keep an eye on them. You come with me.
I'd really like to help you boys out, but I just barely got enough supplies around here for myself. Overland calls this a swing stop. I don't know what the hell to call it. You see any horses out there? You see anything that looks like a team change? They hit me like this 2 or 3 times a month.
Who's they?
Breeds, Comanche. Could be the Sunday school teacher for all I know. And what horses they don't steal, they scatter up in the hills there. Now, how's a man supposed to gather animals and watch his station all at the same time? Now, just yesterday, the eastbound came through here. I couldn't make a team change. Didn't have any stock. For 2 cents, I throw the keys in the water bucket and right out of here.
On what?
Well, walk out. Say, listen. Are you boys looking for a job? I could use a gun or two around here.
No, sir. We're just passing through.
Well, like I said, I'd like to help you out. Just make yourself at home there. I got to go out and round up some stock for the westbound.
Well, said make yourself at home. No beans.
What are you staring at?
Pretty girl. I don't know her name.
You get on about your business. I got work to do.
You're too pretty for work. That's for fat women. Bald bald-headed man. Which leaves the rest of us to have fun with each other. Clara? No. That goes with a redhead. Bertha. No, that goes with a cow. Kitty. It's gotta be that. Kitty.
Meg.
Meg. Should have known. Eggy Meg.
Well, you're as fresh as paint.
You'll dream about that. So will I. I dream about it so much. I'll be back.
Gone.
Get up.
Stay out the night in there.
Hey, Sonny.
People don't generally call me Sonny. Leastways, not twice. I teach them better.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so. Is there something you'd like to say now that I've reminded you of your manners?
Yeah. Can I borrow a match?
It ain't Injuns stealing my horses, it's some no-good stealing my canned goods. You said there were two of them? That's right. How old? 20 or so?
Them in the wagon weren't. There was 5 old men. I saw them when they rode off.
Looks like John Henry brought along some young guns.
Which way were they headed?
South.
Much obliged. You mind my asking why you're looking for them? They stole from a bank in Del Rio. Well, at least I ain't the only one around here getting robbed. Good luck to you. Thank you.
shame you boys don't know more about your trade than you do. You'd went out and found your own bank to rob. That way you wouldn't be in so much trouble.
Seems to me that you're the ones in trouble.
Well, if you can figure out a way to do it, we are.
Do what?
Kill us.
You think we'd do that?
Well, you don't have a choice. Thing about it is, when you do get rid of us, you got to make sure it looks like the gold gets lost too, or else they'll find us dead, the gold gone, and they'll come right after you. This time they won't be coming after you for stealing. This time they'll be coming at you for killing. A man don't know the ropes in this business, he's liable to wind up with one around his neck.
Well, what would you say if I told you I already got that worked out?
I'd have to doubt it. Ever since you guys jumped us back there, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what I would do about it if the situation were turned around. I haven't come up with anything yet.
Well, that's what happens when a man gets a long way down the road. His mind don't work as good as it used to.
Some ways it don't. Some ways it does. Take right now, for instance. I can tell you what you boys are thinking. You're thinking you wish you had another way out of this. Because deep down, you know you're going to have to spend the rest of your life knowing that you killed 5 men.
5 old men. Makes a difference.
I mean, kind of like putting us out of our misery, like the no-goods that we are.
Well, you could say that, yeah.
Of course, you got to get it done first. That might not be so easy.
Well, you said that like you were planning on stopping us.
What would you say if I told you that I already had that figured out?
I'd have to doubt it.
Figured you would. You're high.
Seems to me we should have caught up with the captain and George by now.
We'll be lucky to catch up on the all, thanks to you.
Wasn't my fault if I had a flat.
You get more than that. If the captain runs into trouble and we ain't there to help him.
Hold it!
What are you doing?
Putting on my night watchman glasses. I think I see something. Just as I thought. There's a town up ahead.
That town up ahead has been there for the last half hour.
It has?
Jason fits you are the worst tracker I ever did see. And you don't hear good, you got no sense of direction, you're blind as a bat. It wouldn't surprise me if you hang upside down when you sleep.
I mean, you get down and walk?
No, I don't want you to get down and walk, you'll get lost. Hold on.
You don't suppose John Henry got himself caught now, do you? Huh? Could be.
Hello, the saloon! This is Captain Hayes, Texas Rangers!
How many of them are there?
I only saw 2. Gotta be more than that.
Those boys are kind of touchy, ain't they?
Captain, what's going on?
Sounds like you started a war.
We did.
But we don't know which side we're on.
It ain't how many that you're up against you got to worry about, you know. It's who they are. That's Captain Hayes and his boys out there.
Boys? They look like a couple old goats to me.
Old or no, you got your work cut out for you if you're planning on getting safe away with that gold.
Shut up!
Why don't you just take the reward money and let it go at that?
Look, old man, I set out to spend that gold, and that's what I full intend to do.
What a man intends and what he does is sometimes different. Now, you take me, for instance. I intended to rob a Texas train. For 20 years, I intended that, and I didn't get it done. And this. It's dynamite. That's another thing I intended to do, was to blow you boys up. But I didn't. Well, I got to thinking, it ain't right. You're young and you got your whole life in front of you.
If you're trying to get on my good side, forget it. I don't have one.
All I'm saying is you've got to learn to put up with life's disappointments. I know it's hard, but you've got to learn to do it.
Quit preaching. Why don't you just toss me that stick, nice and gentle?
Why don't you come and get it? You're not afraid of an old man, are you? Of course, I don't blame you if you are. It's like you said. When a man gets on down the road, sometimes his mind don't work as good as it used to. You make a wrong move, I'm liable to panic and throw the stick of dynamite in the stove here.
You're bluffing.
There's one way to find out.
I think he means it, Cotton.
I know I mean it. You see, I don't have a good side either. Now, why don't you boys throw your Winchesters down over there and get out of the door, and me and my friends will walk on out of here. Suit yourself.
Hold it.
Do like he says.
Well, if you don't mind, we'll just leave the gold over there.
Leave it.
Yeah, that way I know you boys will be here for the fight.
The fight?
We'll leave your guns in the wagon out there. That way it'll be fair.
You mean you want to have a shootout?
That's right.
It's kind of old-fashioned, ain't it?
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Well, the way I look at it is, you got the drop on us. Why don't you take the gold and go?
If we do that, you'll just come after us and jump us again. This way, it'll all be over, once and for good.
What's good about getting killed?
I don't plan to.
No? Well, that's what's gonna happen. If you and these old men walk out against us.
Well, then you ain't got nothing to worry about, do you? Except for those who'll be coming after you.
It's kind of a high price to pay to get us to the end of a rope.
We ain't paid it yet. Should warn you. It'll probably be hard to keep Captain Hayes and his boys out of this. There's nothing they like better than a good fight.
And it ain't every day they get to be on your side.
Well, I hadn't thought about that. It could be a problem.
Well, you better work it out. You're gonna need all the help you can get.
Oh, by the way, if it's all right, we'll just wait till morning to leave your guns in the wagon. Me and the boys, we don't see too good in the dark anymore.
Come tomorrow, you won't see it all.
We'll see.
I don't care if you swear up and down on a stack of Bibles. I don't believe you. I trusted you once. I ain't gonna do it again.
I don't blame you, but I'm telling you the truth this time. We was gonna take that gold back to Del Rio. Charlie will tell you. You know Charlie don't lie.
All I know is you ain't gonna cross me again. I'm gonna see to it they put you back in that cell and throw away the key.
And let those four no-goods over there go free.
They haven't done anything.
They threw down on you.
They're just trigger happy, that's all.
They want the gold for themselves. They were gonna kill us to get it. And they'll do the same thing to you if you give them a chance.
Well, they ain't gonna get that chance. We're moving out of here now.
And give them the 20,000?
Well, you gave it to them.
And I can get it back, but that ain't gonna change nothing. One way or another, we gotta fight them boys over there. And if we head out to Del Rio, they'll have us just where they want us.
They haven't got any guns.
They can get guns. They've got 4 days.
He's right, Captain.
He's never been right in his life.
Well, I am now. And if you wasn't too bullheaded to admit it, all you want to do is send me back to prison. But let me tell you something. If those boys catch us in the open out there, more than your pride is going to get hurt.
We're heading out for Del Rio.
Captain, we're going to do it my way.
When's the last time you walked out against a man in a gunfight, John Henry? It was against Nash here, wasn't it? And he knocked you down.
He's good.
Not anymore, he's not. That goes for all of us.
It's a little late to start feeling sorry for ourselves, don't you think?
It's a little late for a lot of things. And standing up to those boys in the street is one of them. We wouldn't have a chance.
That's exactly what we would have, Captain.
Go out in a blaze of glory, is that it?
Why not? It ain't every day a man gets to die doing what he does.
You could be wrong about us, Captain. When push comes to shove, we just might be able to take those boys.
I always was better at gunfighting than running.
Come on, Captain. What do you say?
They're awful young.
And every one of them would shoot a man just to see him fall. Outlawing ain't what it used to be.
It never was, John Henry. Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
We'll be staying out tonight.
Sure don't like this. Folks brought me up to respect old people. I'll go killing them.
You think I like it any better than you do?
Well, no, but...
You want to go to work, do you, Billy?
Work?
Yeah, make an honest living?
I don't think I could do that. I cowboyed some.
Where'd that get you? You work yourself to death for somebody else? They'll likely have to take up a collection to bury you.
Yes, you're right. But I still don't like it. Never killed an old man before.
First time for everything.
It don't bother you?
Well, you were the one who wanted to jump him. Get it over with.
Yeah, I wish we had.
What's that supposed to mean?
Would have been easier.
You know, if I didn't know you any better...
You don't even know me at all.
Look, I warned you about crossing me.
I'm not crossing you. I'm just saying this
You feel sorry for those old men over there? Let me tell you something. They don't feel sorry for you. Not one damn bit.
Yeah? How come John Henry didn't blow us up when he had the chance,
Because
He'd have gone up with us. That's why.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, Captain.
Well, think about it. Like he said, we got our whole lives ahead of us. They don't even have tomorrow.
I ain't never killed anybody young before.
You ain't never killed anybody before.
I wounded that deputy in Sweetwater.
Oh, you hit him in the head with a stick of dynamite.
It got the job done.
Not this time, it won't.
Yeah, it's getting bright.
I'm gonna miss the coffee more than anything else.
Coffee?
Coffee and pretty girls.
Well, what about me and Nash here? Ain't you gonna miss us? No, he ain't gonna miss us, 'cause we ain't gonna die, that's why.
You're right. I ain't ready to cash in my chips. Come to think of it, I ain't even got any. Makes you think, don't it? This may be the very last day we ever see each other again.
Well, you think I'm gonna walk out in that street and shake hands and say goodbye while them boys open up on us? You got another think coming. The trouble is, Jason, you're getting sentimental in your old age.
Guess you're right about that.
Hey, Jace, I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Sorry.
No, it ain't. I've been jumping all over you lately for no reason at all.
You got a reason. I just ain't any good anymore.
Who says? You are the best scout that ever lived, Jason Fish. There ain't a tracker around who can hold a candle to you. And I'll whip the man that says there is. Yeah, and I'll help him.
You mean that?
You call me a liar?
I'd say it's time to put on my gunfighting glasses.
Captain, I just wanted to tell you that no matter how all this turns out, I'm glad to be walking down the same side of the street with you.
I never should have let you talk me into this.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, but what about them? What if once we get out there, they turn and run? And it's shaming the old man. He don't have much left.
That's why I didn't want you to go out the back door last night.
Well, at least they'd have had a chance.
Depends on how you look at it.
John Henry, the night before I left to come after you, Maggie came back.
Maggie?
She'd heard about your pardon, wanted to see you.
How is she?
Hasn't changed.
What is it about that woman that haunts a man so? I thought when they closed that cell door behind me, I'd stop thinking about it. And that it'd pass. But all that passed was years. And then when you two got married, I thought it'd be over. But then I'd hear some of the guys sitting around talking about the gals they'd left behind, and there it was again, hurting just like before. Seems like women always want things that are bad for them, and I was sure that for Maggie.
She didn't think so. Still doesn't.
Did she tell you that?
Some things don't have to be said.
Well, here's one that does. You may be one hell of a lawman, but you don't know squat about women. Sure, she had a crush on me. Why wouldn't she? You was dull and I was colorful.
Now, wait a minute.
But that's all it was, a crush. Deep down inside, it was you she really loved. Why do you think I walked away like that? And why do you think I've been pining for her for all these years? You're jealous And you're stubborn and you're bullheaded, Orrin Hayes. You always have been and you always will be. Now, if you don't mind, I don't have time for a lover's quarrel. I've got one of my own to worry about.
like you said, Cotton. These old men got that way from staying alive.
Yeah.
Howdy. Our horses could use some water, young lady.
Help yourself.
Thank you. Water up.
I'm back.
We'll be in Del Rio before dark.
Nash, go ahead and ask him.
Something wrong, Sergeant?
Well, Captain, George, Jason, and me, we've been talking. And, well, we thought if we didn't take John Henry and his boys on into Del Rio, there'd be no reason for anybody to know he took the gold.
Yeah, and even if they did, they'd be so happy to get it back that they'd probably drop the charges.
Yeah, especially if you told him he was fixing to ride on into Del Rio and turn the gold in.
You believe that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't.
Hey! Stage coming.
Eastbound, headed for Del Rio.
Maggie, it's been a long time. Let me look at you. You haven't changed one damn bit.
A lot of years have gone by.
You sure can't tell it by looking at you.
I'm not sure I believe you, John Henry.
Well, you're not the only one around here. I was getting ready to do maybe the first honest thing in my life. I was going to take some stole gold back to where I got it. And that knot-headed husband of yours over there wouldn't believe me.
There's another thing he won't believe.
We talked about that. I told him he was wrong. Dead wrong.
Is he?
Has to be.
I know. It's a shame, isn't it?
Crying shame. Well, what the hell? Seems we're all going to Del Rio. We'll have a party. A going away party.
John Henry, I'll never forget you.
Well, that's all a man can ask.
John Henry. They say Canada's awful pretty this time of year.
Canada?
Don't ask me why, but I'm going to talk up for you one more time. But let me tell you something. If you ever cross me again...
You got my word on it.
And you got mine. Now get going, you old buzzard.
Think John Henry can stay out of trouble, Captain?
A Texas train.
Get up in there!